What's up YouTube? So today's going to be a little bit different of a vlog. I'm going to do more of a how I train calisthenics hybrid type movements, and I'm going to go into more and more detail about how to get to the intermediate level that I'm at. So I'm not the best, I'm not the worst, but I'm going to show you my workout, and then I'm going to show you like the regressions that you need to get before you can advance to the next stage to get the end result. So let's get it.
On the road, fucking up, pretty fat women and fat checks, nigga. Last test, is it true that you ain't fucking with Taz? Yes. Turn up the bass, now go. I need the whole earth to hear my flow. Bitch act like you know. 1, 2, 3, we been here before. Damn how it gets so dark. Niggas act dumb when you get too smart. Getting high in the damn airport. Contact high for my damn escort. Sun, rain, don't come cheap, so I need change. Break the chains. Phoenix, I rise out of these flames. No more games.
Nice. Really good for your spina erectus, or getting all the ladies and men erectus.
Music make you lose control. Music make you lose control.
I always warm up with the resistance bands, get those muscles activated. I just do a few around the world to get that shoulder girdle warm. A few chest pulls, get those chest muscles activated and warm. A few scapular pushes, really push through and get that protraction in your scaps, and then retract. And I just do that a few times over, just to really get my shoulders and chest warmed up and my scaps. After I do that resistance band warm up, I start to get more like proprioceptors warm up by doing 3 sets of max handstand holds. I always do like about 30 seconds to a minute in my handstand holds, never really too much longer or too much shorter. Again, it's just a warm up. I don't want to fatigue my shoulders. And again, I'll just try focus on form and really getting that elevated push. Really trying to focus on form.
Let's break neck. On the road, fucking up, pretty fat women and fat checks, nigga. Last test, is it true that you ain't fucking with Taz? Yes. Turn up the bass, now go. I need the whole earth to hear my flow. Bitch act like you know. 1, 2, 3, we been here before.
The best way to learn your handstand kick up is what a lot of people get afraid of. So to get used to being upside down, just kick up to a wall and use the wall. But as soon as you use the wall, in this next clip I'm about to show you, turn around and start getting your form better. If you keep kicking up against the wall, you'll get used to having the wall there to catch you. This way you start to get your form better without having to balance without the wall. This exercise is called the bunny hop, and as you can see, both my feet are jumping up together. This way you can control your get up, and instead of being able to over rotate, you can shoot your legs straight up from this position. Then we have these L ups. These also help you not over rotate so you don't fall backwards, because one of your legs is staying down to counteract that kick over. And then at the top you want to change your legs over so you're actually in the handstand position for a split second. Hand positioning is probably the most important thing to do when it comes to handstand holds, because they're our balance mechanisms. It helps as soon as you push through the front of your fingertips, it'll push you back like this, and then when you push through your palms, it'll push you forward. So if you're falling either way, you can counteract both ways with your hands. What you want to be able to learn how to do as well is get this grip position. See how my fingers get a gap underneath there? That's going to give you more grip access to the ground instead of having flat fingers. When you start, it's going to be hard to build that strength, but over time you'll get it and your fingers will become super strong and you'll be able to counteract a lot more easier with your hands. See, when I kick up into this handstand, my hands are in constant motion, just counterbalancing my fall. If your whole position is in line, it's all in your hands. Once you get used to being upside down, you want to use these parallettes because they're a lot easier to use your hands for that balancing instead of using flat hands on the ground. So now once you're in this position, you want to start getting used to moving those hips. So I like to go through a hinge and an extension, And this way, once you're in the handstand, you can understand how to control your hips upside down.
After I do my warm-up, the banded exercises as well as the handstand holds, I go straight into handstand push-ups. whenever I do handstand push-ups, I try and do, or I do at least 20 reps, no matter how many sets it takes. So if I get 5, 5, 5, 5, 4 lots, that's gonna get me to 20 reps. I usually get about 5, maybe 5, then it starts to dive down a little bit, but I go for 20 reps all up.
There's obviously a strength aspect needed for handstand push-ups once you can hold the handstand. These are the precursors to a handstand push-up because it gets you in the form, but it takes away a lot of the weight since your whole body weight isn't over the top of your hands. And then you can progress to these ones. Obviously you're moving your legs up higher to get more weight into those shoulders. You can keep going higher and higher until you get the handstand push-up, but if you can get 10 of these, I'd start to do negatives. These negatives are obviously teaching you the position and how to hold it, but slowing it down through the eccentric phase. The slower you can go with these, the better. Obviously, if you feel like you're strong enough to start pushing back up, then do that as well, because you're going to progress a lot quicker as soon as you can hold it at the bottom, and then get that push back up.
Exercise is a bit more advanced. It's kind of like the end skill that you want to get from a handstand push-up. It's called a 90-90 handstand push-up. It's virtually where you go from a handstand position into a horizontal position, back into a vertical position. Now I try and get 10 reps of these if I can all at once. Otherwise I'll regress to doing bent arm planches to shoulder stands. That way I'm still getting the downwards movement where I struggle in, because handstand push-ups are pretty easy for me now. So I'm trying to strengthen that 90-degree back up into a precursor to a handstand, which is a shoulder stand. So my first lot, I'll try to get the 90-90. And then from there on, I'll regress it to bent arm planche, I call it, into a shoulder stand. And then I'll finish my reps out there. Not like that.
This all the thanks I get. This all the thanks I get. Separation. Me and my ex still fucking, that's reparations. I think we need to make a whole new declaration. Make every cop killer come with a side of bacon. Nightmares of me trying to wake him. I wonder if King had that kind of patience. Allah, please follow my fragrance. Hate them, but I won't let you.
The hardest part of these 90-90s is this isometric move, the bent arm planche. So you want to get really good at those before you even try attempting the 90-90s, because you want to be able to hold it in an isometric movement. If you can't hold them yet, getting a bit of momentum into it makes it a little bit easier. So these L-sit to bent arm planches are a good prerequisite to actually holding it, just so your body can get used to getting into the actual movement. And then the same way as we do the negatives on the eccentric phase in the handstand push-up, we want to do those in the 90-90. So you can understand the transitional period from the handstand into the 90-90. It doesn't really matter about getting back up yet, you just want to teach your body to feel how to come down and how to hold that core as you're coming down in the negative phase, the eccentric phase. Again, the slower you can do this, the better.
The next one is kind of like the calisthenics ultimate goal. I can't do a full yet, I just do a straddle, which is my legs apart, but I want to eventually bring my legs together. This requires a lot of straight arm strength. And if you've been to the gym before, you're always doing bicep curls or bending your arms. It's never ever straight arm strength. Gymnasts are completely different. They do straight arm strength. So we've got to get stronger in that position. So I'll do a planche. Pretty much my first set, I'll do a planche max, superset it with a tuck planche, which is a regressed planche. And then I'll go straight to assisted because it's too fatigued. I'm already too fatigued. So I'll pretty much do just that, and then I'll go straight to assisted.
Is it sadness that's raining? Spending time changing. Million on my caveman. Trying hard not to let the rage in. The sharks in the water, so we raging. In the same boat, let's go. Sun, rain, rain. Don't come cheap, so I need change.
To hold the planche, you want a super strong scapula. So these scapular push-ups are probably one of the best exercises for strengthening that scapula. We want to keep our arms straight because we want to emulate the planche itself and get better straight arm strength. And then we want to sink and pinch our shoulder blades together. And then at the top, we want to push them apart and try and round our back as much as possible. The best way to regress any movement is obviously with some sort of resistance band that's going to help you. So having these at my feet, I'm trying to get the proper form and that proper protraction, because the further forward I go, the more I'm going to retract to try, because my body wants to get in a stronger position and my scapula is not strong enough to keep that protracted position. This one's more about getting your feet off the ground so you can learn to understand the feeling of what it's going to be like with your feet off the ground. Having the resistance band right at the back where your feet are makes it a lot easier. Once you can hold that assisted planche with the band at your feet, start moving the band forward more to your hips so you can get more of a lean with your arms, because obviously that's the end position we want to be at. You want your hands to be right under the bar, because obviously in a planche position you're trying to counterbalance the rest of your body through that lean. So your hands at your hips is where you want to be without a band as well. So you want to emulate that by putting your hands right under the bar and having a strong resistance band to help you hold that position. Assisted are good, but you also want to start learning how to hold the position without a band, otherwise you'll get too used to the band and then have to start all over again without it. This is a planche regression, a tuck regression. Obviously the center of gravity is closer to your hands, and with the tuck knees it makes it easier to hold. These are also awesome for building that straight arm strength with the time under tension needed to be able to hold the planche. I try and aim for maxes of about 5 sets of these, even when I'm not supersetting.
Last one's just a planche push-up assisted. Obviously, everything to get to this stage, I want to be able to do it, which I can get a few, I think 3, not assisted. But I do them assisted just because it's not worth getting 3 reps when I can get 5 assisted. Because obviously I want the strength aspect about it. Everything you need to get this is obviously a planche precursor, and then just be able to push up or pseudo push up into it. Whenever you're doing an assisted banded push-up, have your hands back here, because you want your hands to be at your waist. And since the bar's right above, the assistant band's right above the bar, that's where it's going to end up. Do all of that as my push workout for the calisthenics aspect, but I still want to get stronger by adding resistance. So I'll do like a strength exercise, like bench press, especially because most of my stuff, even though it does incorporate chest, it's not much push-ups or anything like that. I want to get a stronger chest as well, because it's just going to make everything a lot easier. So I'll do 6 to 8 reps on 100 kilos, and then I'll superset straight into a pseudo push-up. A pseudo push-up is where you're in a push-up position, but you lean forward and you do all your movement in that lean forward position, not just a regular push-up like this. That, family, is the way I do my push day. I've only started recently getting back into like full-on calisthenics training because I want to get my planche back. I've got a 5-second one at the moment, and then I want to obviously transition into a full one. That's pretty much an intermediate calisthenics hybrid training. Hybrid only because I did bench press as well. Let me know down in the comments if you like it, if you want me to do a more of a beginner circuit, just so you guys know we can actually start. But everything I just done and the regressions I showed is pretty much all the exercises I done myself to get to the position I'm at. But it's taken me 5 years of pretty consistent training doing it. So it is a long-term game, but you get it back pretty quick when you stop. So remember to like and subscribe, help the channel grow. Remember, we want to be at 5,000 subs by the end of this year, so only you guys can help me get there. Love you all. Have a good week. Peace.